table where the good talk start. We're feeding your mind and strengthening your heart. From doctors to wellness and the choices we make. Giving you the knowledge everybody should take. Your healthy Java. Bringing you the info you need to get healthy. Stay healthy. And make your life strong and believe. Your healthy Java. Health in every cup. Mind and body conversations that lift the whole community up. Stay healthy.
Pour the cup. Let's talk health.
Right here at the table where the good talk start. We're feeding your mind and strengthening your heart. From doctors to wellness and the choices we make. Giving you the knowledge everybody should take. Your healthy Java. Bringing you the info you need to get healthy. Stay healthy. And make your life strong and believe. Your healthy Java. Health in every cup. Mind and body conversations that lift the whole community up. Stay healthy.
Pour the cup. Let's talk health.
Right here at the table where the good talk start. We're feeding your mind and strengthening your heart. From doctors to wellness and the choices we make. Giving you the knowledge everybody should take. Your healthy Java. Bringing you the info you need.
Yeah. Yeah. It's percolating.
Good morning. Yeah. Good morning to the people on Facebook. Good morning to the people on IG. Good morning to the people on the YouTube. Good morning to the people on LinkedIn and Twitter too.
Java.
Percolating.
Get a vibe, stay ready.
Truth in the cup, keep it strong, keep it steady.
Pull up a chair, yeah. Take a sip with me.
Good morning, good people. Java with Jimmy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, the love percolating.
Percolating. Java with Jimmy. Good morning.
That morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, the love.
Percolating.
Yeah.
Java with Jimmy. Good morning.
That morning.
Percolating.
Yeah, we in it.
Yeah, we in it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Java with Jimmy.
Percolating.
Yeah, we in it.
Yeah, we in it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Java with Jimmy.
They've changed something over here because the unmute used to just come off automatically. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. You're in the Java Cafe. We're going to have a quick shot this morning because got a nice, important meeting at 11 a.m. and I need to get ready for that. But we are definitely percolating, brewing to really raise our impact, some of the aesthetic of the platform as well. And so I'm going to have a quick shot this morning. We are going to go in first to the Instagram section of the Java Cafe and say good morning to, hey, it's Shauna. Also, Christine Archer is over on Instagram as well as nightlife legend here in the city of Boston, Eddie Q. I believe that's that Eddie Q that's over on Instagram as well. Let's go in the Facebook section and say good morning to the folks that are over there this morning. First, starting off, look who's in the room early this morning. Miss Teresa, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. And like my hoodie, hoodie season is just about over. It's supposed to be 77 degrees today. I'll share some thoughts about that. Good morning to the two Nicoles in the building. Nicole, hopefully you got to connect with I was going to say her government. She would kill me. Hopefully you got to connect with Queen yesterday. And Nicole Campbell, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. We got all the N's in the room this morning. My sister, Nakia Hills, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Milton, good morning, bro. Good to see you in the room this morning. Mama Java, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Michelle D. Smith, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. Fatherly Justice Association, good morning to the good folks over there. I think we've seen you in the room before. Good to see you this morning. Miss Teresa is saying good morning to all of her greetings and everything. Brother Milton, y'all are doing your own greetings up in here. Michelle Brasfield, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Had the opportunity to see her in real life and fellowship last week, her and Brother Marv. Good to see you in the room this morning. Sarita, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. I was actually thinking about you this morning because I was able to finally sync my phone up and get the videos from the event that we had. You're living healthy while you hustle. And so it's definitely a great drop there. So I just have to edit and put the things together. But thank you for being a part of that. We look forward to seeing you on May 16th and also May 19th. As you all know, the Deltas are working to ensure that Black women are included in a lot of the research done to create medicines that address different types of cancer. And so the Deltas will be with us about that initiative for Your Healthy Java 2 weeks from today. Yes, that'll be the 19th, 2 weeks from today. Speaking of Your Healthy Java, as we mentioned in the opening, don't forget that next Saturday, we will have the 5th annual Java with Jimmy, Your Healthy Java, Joseph R. Betancourt Health Fair, taking place at the Thelma Burns Building, 575 Warren Street from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure you go and pre-register if you pre-register and are one of the first 50 people that check in the room. You are automatically entered into a raffle to receive a $100 gift card. You will also have the opportunity to speak with healthcare providers, visiting the tables to get the information you need. You'll fill out your passport. Once you fill out your passport, there'll be a certain number of providers you need to see. You meet that goal, you get the information, you go turn in your passport, you get a raffle ticket. And from that pile of tickets, will we 5 times during the health fair draw a number, and the winner of those 5 draws will receive $1,000 cash. So number one thing you're going to get is the health information. But also, I know that we are dealing with a lot when it comes to our finances. Our winner last year said that money was right on time for her. And so we definitely want to make sure that you come out and get the health information you need. But then also there will be some incentives, some refreshments. DJ Jeff 2 times will be there. Last year, we actually had some line dancing going on, which I think was kind of awesome. So speaking of health, 2 weeks from today, the Deltas will be with us to talk about their initiative. And then that Saturday before, we will have the health fair at the Thelma Burns Building. So make sure you register and you plan to attend. And before somebody tells me, let me go ahead and just put the link in the comments, just in case you have not registered. Shamika reached out. Eagle, thank you for volunteers. We will need some volunteers. Just so you all know, Aaron and Newt are going to help me with the logistics. And yes, we will have things run very smoothly with the two of them helping out. So let me get the link in here. Oh, wow. Y'all have been on this link. Okay. Let me get the link in here. So if you have not registered, you can go ahead and register. Hey, I was getting ready to get to this, but since I seen his comment, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it now. And we're doing better with the footage, aren't we, brother Joey? It was so funny last night hearing Phil, why does he call you Joey? He was not happy. I want to shout out this good brother. He is actually my guest on Thursday at GBH, but he's no stranger to the Java Cafe. And I was glad to go out last night. I'm a board member of Yard Time Incorporated, and I went out last night to and I'm his soft publicist. And he basically, the definition there is not really formally, but on the soft side. So for those of you that crack up with that, I do too. But it's a joke between him and I. But in all seriousness, again, I've seen this 3 times with my own eyes. At Joey's birthday party in January, I think of 24. I saw last year, and if I got the month wrong, Joey, get me. Last year at the bowling league, and then this year as well. Joseph Bennett has the ability through Yard Time to bring together brothers from across the city. I interviewed them last night, and if I was able to get the footage ready for you all now, I would show some of the clips now. But Joey, here they go. Yard Time. I told Joey that Yard Time took over the Java Cafe. I think it was yesterday, actually. But this brother is doing great work in the community. This is his 2nd iteration of the bowling league that he brings out men from across the city, and they bowl, they eat, they converse. I heard Brother Mathematics last night telling Joey that someone mentioned something to him, and I heard a referral to tomorrow or something. We're going to get him connected in resources. While they're bowling, brothers are venting, brothers are getting mentored, brothers are identifying with one another around different struggles and accomplishments and success. And so I got to speak to some of the brothers there, and it was a great experience. They really salute that brother and appreciate his give back to community. And so you'll hear more from him, and you'll hear about the healthy hustle of keeping programming supported and alive when we're dealing with budget cuts, when we're dealing with systems. And so shout out to that good brother. Let's give him some flowers this morning, because we definitely appreciate him. We will post the videos very, very soon from last night speaking with the brothers. The health fair information is there. The link is posted, and also I'll put it on the James page as well, in case you're watching, and there's a few folks watching over there. So I'm going to put that there as well, and make sure you all have the information to go ahead and register for next Saturday. I see Katrina Cooley Flag in the building. Good morning to you. Did I say Sharon Cornelius? Sharon Cornelius. Good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. I think I got Miss Teresa as well. Miss Labyrinth 82. I think I got that right. Good morning to you over on Instagram. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I want to check in. It is Testimony Tuesday, and we'll wrap up with that. But I wanted to check in and just make a couple of things clear to you all. May not be as relevant, but for those that go for the after watch and don't watch live, so Mama Java won't shout them out and say, good morning, such and such. I'll just sum this up in saying that our attention, knowledge base, skill set, experience, proven victory when it comes to shifting the electoral politics in Boston Poly are very important. The other piece, or an additional piece or context to that, is we're in a system of electoral politics, and there are certain things that have had proven success. Acknowledging we're within a system. It is often, and the mayor said it the other day when I was like, you didn't have a contender. She was like, oh, hold on. There was a lot of money spent in this election, which is a whole nother conversation. I will just say this, that never, ever, I would encourage people who are committed to community, have proven leadership and experience and impact, that are considering running for office, be sure that you understand some of the fundamentals of what is at this time required to win. Often, and I'll end here, often the field of an open candidacy, every election, the candidacy should be open. I don't disagree that every elected official should have and this is becoming for some a trigger word I'm observing, viable contender. Side note, Josh Kraft came into an event I was at the other day, and it was just, yeah. Every elected official should have a viable contender, even if they're well with community. A contender sparks a different type of conversation, maybe ideas to do things differently, district, at large, mayoral, gubernatorial, Senate, state rep, Congress, all of those. What I have observed is that we have great, passionate people from community that presumably want to get in a system and change it, bring more equity to it, and be a policymaker that can inform policies that negatively impact Black and brown people. What I have observed often is there are a lot of people sometimes for certain elected positions that put their name in the hat. They take the courage, they raise their hand, they get their nomination papers, they get nominated, and often the candidate that shares our values, that we believe in, has that part. But then in the system to which I referred earlier, politics, in the process of it, it's a game. It's a sport. There are tactics. And I know that some people, view those as, the establishment. Yes, there are established laws. And often incumbent machines can deter somewhat viable candidates. There's that part. But then there's the part where there are some candidates that I would say can be more prepared. You're running and raising your hand to go into a system that presumably you want to change. And that system has, just thought about this analogy. There's a passcode, there's keys, there's to get in, to the system. And there are two schools of thought around, do you get in the system and change it from within, or do you push from the outside? As things are current, when it comes to city council votes, when it comes to hearings, when it comes to part of the city council vote, but advocacy for budget and things like that, that's done in there. And sadly to say, we've seen pressure applied from the outside without strong allegiance. I won't say allegiance. Without the inside-outside game, I don't believe has been as effectively, intentionally, strategically utilized. It's both ends. There's the pressure. Not just the pressure, there's the engagement, the ideas, the suggestions from lived experience, from people who are going to be impacted by your policy every single solitary day as a part of their daily life. And so my whole point is that I get the buck. That's great. But the system is what it is, and we have to have people that go in and attempt to change it. Looking at OCPF things, looking at the number of required signatures, things like that. You have to have people from the inside and outside. And my close here is their viability and understanding the tactics, the strategy, and the techniques of successfully getting a candidate across the board, they've been proven. And candidates have to be willing to do the work. So that's my commentary on that there. I've been putting up a few posts about it, and they've been saying, here's the other thing. For the past few years, maybe 8-10 years, people have asked me, Jimmy, I'm thinking about running. What do you think? And my first question is always, do you have the mental fortitude? We get into the technique of the technicality of who's your universe, what's your sweet spot number, what's your number, are you able to fundraise? Do you have people that have bodies that will make phone calls and door knock? All the things that come with winning an election. And I talk about the mental fortitude piece often because it's a lot. Physically, don't have a family, don't have a business, don't have the ability to come off your job early, have to work and campaign and take care of your family. That's a lot. I also ask if people have talked to their families about it, immediate and also, surrounding. You have to ask the question from, how's your social media look in today's society? Yes. See, Brother Frederick Hampton said something, and he had put up a post a few days ago or last week, actually our guest tomorrow, or JL, that don't be surprised if you see people try to assassinate your character. That can be done through going through your social media 3, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I've asked people, have you scrubbed? Have you looked at your social media? There's all of that. For the past, about the same time, I also observe and will start to ask and incorporate this, as a few people have reached out this year, for next year. While a candidate is often encouraged not to use words like lose, not victorious and things like that, by my observation, I've seen of late that needs to be a part of the conversation with that candidate's team. That if we don't get over the hill, true test of a candidate's commitment to community is, if you lose, are you still going to do the work? Are you going to participate? Take your downtime. It's real. Losing, and I'm going to get to my point. Putting yourself out there, spending the hours, rallying the money, getting people excited, feeling responsible and accountable to your support base, that's a lot to carry. And then to lose is a lot to carry. I'm going to start asking now, when people reach out, do you have the mental fortitude to bounce back? That's a question that I'll incorporate when candidates or prospective candidates start asking me if they should run. Let's go in and check in some of the comments, see who else is in the room this morning. I don't think I said good morning to Milagro. Good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. I think I got everything covered this morning, you all. Facebook, James and Java, I see a couple of comments. Big boss man Shiz, who is doing the biggest derby event that goes on in the city of Boston one of these days, brother. I'm going to make it out. Sunday just be my church and rest day virtually. But good to see you in the room as always, bro. Deprecia said viable. Absolutely. JL said, all great politicians have been grassroots led. These mainstream viable politicians are trash and will never care more about the community. We cannot conflate viability. There is a, how can I say this? I don't know how to clearly articulate what I'm observing between the confusion of putting it out there. What wins? The system is what it is, but this also gets this gets to another point about non-viability, passionate, good people jumping in. Again, it takes courage. It's part of it. To JL's point, and I've seen this, to JL's point, and this goes to a larger thing that I've been talking about for months, well, actually years. It's chess and not checkers. And while taking that courageous step and getting ready to run, what happens is, and this has been a point of contentious conversation for years, but we still talking about it. And look at large, this past election, quite a few brothers of color that got in. There are a couple of names that people had presumed, and to the point, how can I say this? Oh God, there's so much to unpack here. I don't have a pen. To the point that was just made about, I said this earlier, machines. Viable is not a cuss word. Any candidate that takes issue with viability, I question your ability. And what's the other word? Viableness. No, I'm missing. Let me get back to a point of the last election and why we talk about viability. And viability can grow. Talk about grassroots. Chuck Turner, like me, I don't want to run. Thought about it 13 years ago, and I was like, because I see to some points that other folks have made, system is interesting once you get in. And we've seen a lot of people morph. Going to try to tie this all together. Chuck got ran. You talk about grassroots. Chuck got ran. And what I mean by that was they wanted him to run. Chuck was like, no. You know what they did? They went out and got Chuck on a ballot. That is grassroots. Now, there were people around him, kind of different times of the politics and how you win is still sort of the same. There were people around him that knew some of the political game and how to get that candidate more viable. He was viable in many ways as a leader, as what was proven and what was done and understood policy. A candidate can be grown into more viability, to my point around the advisors around him. So I'm going to go back to the other point, last election. 2 points made about a machine. A lot of people, but not a lot. There were a lot of voters, a lot that I talked to that are Black and brown men, that expressed seeing more of Henry Santana. Making kind of an example here to hopefully bring it home to folks. there were other candidates that were black and brown men that were viable, that still to the point of the machine got Henry in. Here's my point. Where are the conversations? Where is some consideration of system is what it is? We have to play chess and not checkers. Gets to the bigger point of what I've been saying for a few months. If we had some semblance of unified black leadership, citywide, and maybe are there, and I'm just off the top of my head, you know, their district, you know, do you turn into ward and precinct districts based on that larger, constantly communicating black agenda type environment? Out of there comes potential candidates. They've been involved, there's conversing, there's engagement, and people are sitting back like, hey, maybe this is our candidate to either district, at large, mayoral, gubernatorial, state reps, you know. And again, this is my fault of not clearly, maybe not being able to clearly articulate it in the nicest way possible. And this is to my point earlier, a contentious conversation around these words. The notion of splitting the vote, that it's a contentious term and conversation. It's the thing that is so a little bit frustrating, to be very honest with you, is to my bigger point that I've been saying for the past few months is we don't, and it's interesting. I went and did Peace Play yesterday, and I'll talk a little bit about that before we get ready to end up with some testimonies. We don't have time to, and let me address this too, because I see a couple of folks on here. You can have debate without asserting a one, a tone, two, because of what I'm posting, establishment and come on. Trying to close this off again in the bigger, larger scale. If that community of black leading agenda, we're proactive with coming up elections. We're proactive with what's coming down the pike around policies that are going to impact black and brown people. Where you know, and that is a lot of the things that I'm talking about and not just the politics, but in a lot of our financial and economic development and all of the things. The undercurrent is that lack of unified, we being led by a coalesce as widely convening of participants as possible agenda, what it is, how we're going to get there, how do we, when it is deviated away from, how do we put people that deviate back on track? So, yes, that's my commentary on that subject that has been very, very active on my page, because it I don't assert myself as an expert, but I'm certainly not a novice anymore. And witness grassroots and, been, I was part of probably the biggest machine in Boston's political history, the green one. And it right, wrong, indifferent, we got to figure out how to make sure we get the right folks in, and they got to be malleable, teachable, and vulnerable. I've seen candidates that they're committed to it. They show up, they talk, they debate, and things like that. But the campaign manager and the advisory group, they're in the background, looking out for things, being proactive, making sure that the surveys are answered. They're you don't have to like it. You don't have to agree. And you can still fight to change it. But at present, it is what it is. And until we, as Coach Meg says, this term of integrating, until we change it, and I don't say stop changing it. That's the whole big thing of integration. You don't accept kind of what it is. You acknowledge it is currently what it is. And then until we change it strategically, intentionally, and not amiss, we got to, listen. Okay. Many. Y'all know that that's my Yoda when it comes to this space. And a lot I learned from him, and a lot seeing stuff and then filtering it through years, and there just is, and I need to get ready to bring Carlos back, because we need to start talking about next year yesterday on a municipal. So there's a lot of look who's it. Wait, hold on. We got a special guest in the room. Chasing CTC Kitchen. Good brother is in the room, known as CTC. Good brother, doing a lot in community. Right behind him, Uncle Thaddeus. Sometimes it's not about outplaying people, it's about understanding them. And the moment, this is the thing, and a lot of you that know me well know that a lot of the either little frustration, little bit of frustration and urgency is understanding the moment that we're in now, that inform, we're in the present, the past has played a part in that, and the present plays a part in our future. And we see what's going on nationally with voting rights. Do not be deceived. There is not a red, my favorite color, yep, that there's not a rising of the red in this state, and yes, in this city. Dump's first term, I'm riding down Dorchester Ave up on Fields Corner. Was it Hancock? A truck, flags, red signs, calling the supporting Dump. Huh? So, all right. Based on what I'm seeing, I don't know if I catch up with all of them, but there's some names I'm seeing here. Okay, all right. Good to see the folks in the room this morning. Shout out to the folks that, we got folks in we got a good purple brother from Tennessee. Our legislature is convening today in Tennessee to redraw districts. And this is the thing that we, to some extent, is based on what I said, though there's a red rising, there are some buffers to some extent in Massachusetts, Boston, where the redistricting, but Andrea Campbell put out a video the other day that until we got the at-large candidates to represent the whole city and those district candidates and the way Boston got its history, a few of them. But Tennessee is something to pay. what the Supreme Court did, it just, and here's the thing about strategy and long game. We can sum it up simply as Project 2025. But even in the research around that, folks were going way back, the Heritage Foundation, and whatever iteration that was before that. This has been something, these people will wait and be slow and play chess and not checkers. And I think there's one commonality, that we want our community healthy and we want equity, with all the difference of how we get there and the snarkiness and all the stuff. Because evolution is a beautiful thing. But in real time, I'm a little something tapped me on my shoulder. Stay focused. That where there's commonality, where the foundation of commonality of wanting our community more healthy, more equitable experience, all of us, I believe, share that. And this has always been a thing. Me and the good Dr. Falk talked about this. How we get there may differ. But one thing along that path will be respect. And I'll leave that there. All right. As I said, in real time, I almost need to go to a commercial break. Brother Timothy Howard, it's good to see you in the room. A lot of you yesterday heard when I had shared that our brother Benny Santos had transitioned. Benny's an ancestor. Tim, Reggie, all of y'all, we're here for y'all and praying, as I said yesterday, for the Santos family, the Winston side of my family that's heavily impacted. It's good to see you in the room, sir. We send strength your way. Grieve, healthy, cry, do what you got to do. And I know you well enough to know that you understand that none of that takes away from who you are. We love you, bro. And we're here. Just messed me up a little bit, but Brother Carlos, they're fighting a war of attrition. We have neither the time nor resources to win this way. I'm going to scroll up a little. Oh, I didn't. Let me go over to Instagram. All right. Folks are just watching over there. I got Uncle Thaddeus's CTC. We got to make sure that our candidates too have a post-election process in place to deal with the bitterness. That's and as a human being, you put yourself out there to do something and it's not successful. There is a human impact. There's a mental health impact. Can I be 100? Carlos, former candidate, Tashad. There's a little bit of an ego impact. If I can assert, so that's something I'm observing as well, that we gotta, as in that community, village, tribe. What if you don't win? Are you willing to do the work to make sure you don't become bitter? To take that down. There's just so much. So that raising of the hand that Carlos refers to when people get into it, I semi-promise I'll close with this. When people raise their hand to do this, while we want to help them raise their hand like Moses, somebody needs to be holding their hand. And I'll leave that there. Carlos can attest to how Chuck started at grassroots, and Chuck had contenders. Here's one of his contenders, as he should have. And the people were satisfied with what Chuck were doing. All right, I said I was going to leave it alone. I got to get ready to wrap up because it's 10:47. Wellness is not a request, it's a right. Respect is not symbolic, it's lived. And leadership should reflect both, especially for community. The other thing I got to get off of here, because energy before a show contributes to the show, and then energy post the show if I got to go right into a meeting or something. So I got to shift a little bit, compartmentalize. Let me, since you want to be up on my platform, I'll just what I will do is assert the maturity and the appreciation for your youthful energy, and we'll sidebar. But there's rules of engagement here. If you can't abide by them, then don't engage. So we're going to get ready to wrap up. Damami, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Love you too, Brother Tim, as always. And you know that. Brother Romero, good to see you, sir. Good to see you in the room, brother. Asia, good morning to you. I'm going to wrap up. Don't forget the health fair. It's next Saturday. Tomorrow, we have the opportunity. I wish I could bring them. Maybe we can work it out. I wish I could bring them in studio, because it's just a different energy. Plus, I need to just grip that brother up. J.L. Smith will be with us, a.k.a. Frederick Hampton, a.k.a. the founder of the J.L. Smith Suicide Prevention Program. He's coming to chat with us. And this is going to be, he's someone on the line of understanding anti-establishment, but understanding to some extent, getting there is interesting. So it there again, as long as we keep the commonality of our community being to Thaddeus's point, that is one of the things. I seen a long comment from Good Trouble Java. Hold on. The ways to win: know people to put in your place, or you get out there and do the work and make sure your face and name is everywhere, so the name is familiar on the back. This comes from a offspring of a political giant in our community. So, all right, I'm really wrapping up this time. We will, Jesus, so many. Wanda, good morning, sis. Good to see you in the room. Dina, we want you back here home and healthy and safe. Michelle D. Smith reminded me, can we take 2 minutes and put one word in the comments that describe, let's stay focused today. Put one word in the comments that either now or sometime this year or in the near future, what is it that you are doing to test yourself, to expand yourself on this Testimony Tuesday? Y'all got 2 minutes. Mine is, can I not engage if I don't need to? That is something that I'm y'all know there's a part of me that when I'm finding a medium, but we're getting there. Grace. And then right after Grace, the good Reverend is here. Brother Donald Maurice, good to see you. Why did you type my name? What did I say? There's certain people when you, James, I'm like, wait, what did I do? Dina shares with us her testimony this morning and being thankful to be able to bring my mother-in-law back to Boston. Asia is testing herself with forgiveness. Romero is testing himself with prioritizing energy. Latoya is saying, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Brother Donald is saying that he is still standing, and that is a test all within itself in this time, in this country, being a black man. And so, all right, I really got to go, everyone. Thank you all for being here this morning. We will be back with Brother JL tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then Thursday, don't forget, and Thursday, Jamal Wernham of One Love Sports Academy. Joey Bennett from Yard Time Incorporated, and also Conan Harris from Conan Harris Associates. Some of this may come up a little bit. Thank you all for being here today. Durama, what, Uncle Thaddeus? Y'all are in a convo using Durama dolls. Uncle, I'm gonna sidebar you about that. All right. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.